everyone, welcome to Visu Designs' 4th video, where we continue our SketchUp Academy Series. My name is Sophie, and I work with SketchUp for interior design and design education, to bring others' dream spaces to life. Today we will be going over the basics of getting started with SketchUp and an overview of the basic navigation tools to move through SketchUp like a pro. Let's get started by opening up a file like we did in the last video. Or, if you haven't watched those videos, I recommend going back and checking those out before starting this one, as we will be working on those settings for the entire series. Okay, so there are a few basic navigations that you are going to want to get familiar with in SketchUp, since they will make your life a lot easier when trying to work on your projects. Up here on the toolbar, we have some of your basic navigation tools. The tools are Orbit, Pan, Zoom, and Zoom Extents. If you select the Orbit tool, your mouse should change to the symbol that represents that tool, which in this case is a line with an arrow circling around it. By simply left-clicking and holding on your mouse, or normally clicking with one finger on your touchpad and holding, and while holding down the button or pad, moving your mouse from left to right, you should see your screen turning on an orbit. You can also move up and down with this tool, giving you a really great tool to see your project in a 360-degree frame. Next, we will select the Pan tool, but before we can do that, let's talk about how to get out of the tool. The simplest way is to simply go up to the toolbar and select the arrow icon. This should change your mouse back to the default selections tool. For those of you who love a keyboard shortcut, simply click on the spacebar and the tool should automatically switch to the selection arrow. Now that we know how to get out of a tool, let's get back into the Pan tool. So let's select Pan on our toolbar, and again, your mouse icon should change to the Pan icon, which is a little finger pointing with horizontal arrows. Using the same movements as the Orbit tool, so left clicking on your mouse or one finger pressing on the touchpad. If you move your finger or mouse up and down or left or right, you should see the screen panning around while keeping the angle of the view the same. This tool is especially helpful when you're really close in on an object or line and you need an easy way to move around without having to zoom in and out. Now let's move on to the zoom tool. Again, either select the arrow in the toolbar or press space on the keyboard to get out of your current tool and back to the select default. So now you'll click on the zoom tool, and you should see again that the icon changes to the one that represents the zoom tool, which is a magnifying glass. By using the same movements as the past two tools, you can hold down the left click on your mouse, or one finger hold the touchpad. You should be able to slide your fingers and mouse up and down to zoom in and out of your project's file. This is especially helpful when you're trying to get up close on small details in your model. Next up, let's go over Zoom Extents. Now, you might be thinking, well, Sophie, isn't Zoom and Zoom Extents basically the same thing? And while yes, it can be used to do the same function, Zoom Extents has a particularly useful tool added in that the regular Zoom does not: locating your model. In SketchUp, there will be times where you are working on your model and the program will probably glitch or crash, or you might just zoom out too far or pan too wide and you will lose your model in the abyss of white space. The key to finding this is 1, not to panic, and 2, to remember that Zoom Extents exists for this very reason. So for this exercise, let's zoom out, move around, pan, do whatever you can to lose your model, or if you've already lost your model, just follow along. Once you can't see your model anymore, you're simply going to select the Zoom Extents tool, and bam, your model should instantly show on your screen again. What Zoom Extents does is recenter your screen to the model so that what you were modeling comes into frame. Now, for those of you who don't love having to go up to each individual tool, there are a few ways to do it with simply your mouse and a keyboard. For Orbit, you can simply hold down the wheel on your mouse, and by doing the same left-right, up-down motions, your screen should orbit. For Pan, you can do the same movements as Orbit, so hold down the wheel on your mouse and move around, but in addition to holding down the wheel, you will also hold down Shift on your keyboard at the same time. Now, if you move around, your screen should be panning. If you are ever unsure which tool you have activated, you can always check the icon present where your cursor is. Now, Zoom is probably the easiest of the bunch, where you only have to scroll up and down on your mouse's wheel to zoom in and out of your model. For Zoom Extents, selecting the icon on your toolbar is still probably the best way to go for activating the tool. Hopefully this video helped shed some light on navigating SketchUp's basic navigation tools. Next episode will introduce you to some of the drawing tool basics you'll need to create your first room. If you're looking for the next video in this series, click on the video that pops up on the screen. Feel free to give this video a like if you found it helpful and consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. Till next time!